Evolutionary application gets started realizing that evolution now, it's obvious, permeates all aspects of biology, and there's an increasing use of the evolutionary concept and theory to address issues of practical importance. And for example, evolutionary concepts and methods are being used to improve our understanding and solve problems related to development of resistance to drug by pathogens, as well as ensuring long-term genetic health of endangered species, for example, or to improve our understanding of the ultimate causes of medical disease. It's obvious also that funding agencies and researchers are realizing the immense potential of evolutionary biology to address such practical questions. And as a consequence, there's really an increasing number of papers being published that address issues of economic, social, and health relevance. So we felt that these important papers needed a home to get an outlet, to get published. There are certainly quite a few journals specializing in publishing papers related to evolutionary biology. However, the vast majority of the papers being published in those journals focus on testing and refining key elements of the evolutionary theory. So papers related more to dealing more with practical aspects get somehow disseminated among this journal and partly lost, such that this hampered the possibility to really develop and push applied evolution as a discipline in its own right. So evolutionary application will be really a unique journal in the sense that will be the only journal that will entirely focus on publishing papers of practical relevance that will be, however, framed into a strong conceptual framework of evolutionary biology. The unique aspect of the journal is definitely reflected by the goals we're targeting. Really, our primary goals is to promote the importance of evolution in a practical context to solve issues related to health, societal, and conservation aspects. A second goal that the journal is targeting, I think that is pretty unique, is that we really aim at facilitating communication among scientists addressing such practical issues coming from different fields of research that are not used to interact to each other. For example, I would say that evolutionary application would be one of the very few journals where papers related to agriculture, forestry, conservation, genetics, climate change, spread of disease will be published all at once in the same outlet. And a third goal that we have is also, we don't want evolutionary applications to be only a reference for specialized evolutionary biologists, but we want the journal to also be a reference for policymakers, managers, journalists that seek key examples of how evolutionary biology is relevant to our everyday lives, and that also makes evolutionary applications pretty unique. Well, authors should choose to submit an evolutionary application for several good reasons. First, we're really aiming at publishing really the highest standard papers that relates to a practical application based on the concept of evolutionary theory. We'll definitely be targeting at publishing a paper in a broad range of disciplines, which also would mean a broad readership for the authors. We have been highly successful in assembling an exceptional editorial team in terms of associate editors for a rapid editorial process. Evolutionary application is also one of the very few journals related to evolutionary biology that use double-blind reviewing process, which ensure more transparency and objectivity in the reviewing process. And finally, I think it's important to note that the journal has been officially endorsed by the Society for the Study of Evolution, as well as the European Society for Evolutionary Biology. Really, we are taking all possible action to ensure that authors will get as much visibility as possible. For instance, all papers will have free access globally for the first year of the journal. Later on in the future, authors will also have the option to publish their papers as open access. Also, all papers will be published online early, and also the journal will be made available to researchers in developing countries by means of various programs. And as a result of all these efforts, all indices related to the showing the interest of the researchers' readership for the journal are really beyond our starting expectation. As a few examples of some of the papers that have already been published, in our opening paper by Graham Bell and Dr. Collins, these authors discuss the important issue related to adaptation, extinction, and climate change. They argue about the fact that evolutionary biology is really the key to understand how the world will change, mainly related to global warming. On a totally different topic, Dr. Nesi and Steve Stearns discuss how relevant it is to more fully integrate evolutionary biology into medicine in order to more fully understand the ultimate causes and some of the major diseases that are of concern for humans. Our second issue, edited by guest editors Andrew Henry and Robin Wapples, will focus entirely on the evolutionary aspects of conservation and management in salmonids. So although this second issue will be really taxon specific on salmon, the topics being covered are really of general interest and relevance for other taxonomic groups where the same types of problems are being encountered or questions are being raised. For example, in this issue, we have papers that relate to aspects of habitat alteration, spread of diseases, selective harvesting, as well as conservation genetics. Both myself and founding and managing editor Michel Tsang will be more than happy to answer any request or questions being addressed to us. Our coordinates can be found on the journal's website at www.evolutionaryapplications.org. And also we would be more than happy to receiving any suggestion that will help to better serve or keep promoting evolutionary application as disciplines in its own right.